This right here is a 1975 Kawasaki KV100. Very similar to the 100cc Trail Boss around the same time. The one major thing I have going against me with this build is that the tank, and I believe this is why it was painted before I got to it, is from a different year. Meaning that the mounting brackets that are on it don't fit up to the nipples that are on the frame. These little rubber grommets, this thing, that's what holds the tank in there, is 0 bolt. However, these C's are like 2 inches too high for where those are on the frame. So the actual metal up here from the tank hits the frame and doesn't allow those C's to go down deep enough. I may have shown you this in some other videos, but I owned this. I got this as one of my first bikes. This wasn't my first bike. This is one of my first bikes. I picked this up over 15 years ago, and I stuck this in a barn in 2008. So I just pulled this out, and it's actually in surprisingly good condition. So the story kind of starts here. When I was in, I guess, late high school, early college, I started to buy up mopeds, broken ones. This one was broken. Fix them, ride them, and crash them, and sell them. So now that I'm older, I started to do it with bigger bikes. So I picked up the F7 to sell or whatever. I picked up this to probably fix up and sell. I also bought this to teach myself some things. It's very similar to the F7. And so I wanted a cheap motorcycle that I could do stuff like this too without really worrying about. So I've completely disassembled this now and put it back together. I didn't like what I did with the up there, and so I'm redoing it. And you know, a lot of this stuff is just kind of sitting where it goes and needs a few new parts here and needs to be kind of taken off and redone. But this is how I learn. I do something, I fail, and I redo it. And I try and buy something cheap like this so that I could do it 10 times and it doesn't really matter, and no one's going to be like, oh my god, you destroyed that pristine bike. No, it's not pristine. The tank doesn't even fit with it. It was disgusting. Anyway, it was a lot like this when I got it, you know. Pretty messed up. This is actually selling today. This is a 80, I don't know, 70 something. Yamaha Chappie. Came with an extra engine, a bunch of parts. Picked that up for 75 bucks. Selling it for 450. What? Anything else interesting? Oh, yeah, yesterday. Boom. Picked this up on a clean out. This cost me $3.99. This is a 1986 Honda Shadow 500. Actually a pretty cool bike, and I have a slight, you know, I'm slightly optimistic that I might be able to just kind of start it up roughly. But tank needs to be mounted, seat's just sitting there. It came with the original seat too. This is the fender, and what's really cool about this is, look, it's a drive shaft bike. Isn't that cool? That's the drive shaft, no chain. I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, it also has this pretty cool paint job. Thankfully, it's chipping. I don't know if you can tell, but it's like, in this light, it doesn't look like much, but it's like horrible iridescent, like oil spills flames. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. I can't imagine why anyone would be giving this away. Those flames. Whew. Anyway, I believe the engine turns over. The carbs don't have a on them, so who knows what's in there. It did rain really hard too. We'll see. Anyway, so we got 5 bikes total that I've spent for all 5 of these bikes. $1,300. So we'll see what we can get for them. See how this adventure ends up. This bike has 8,600 miles on it. Not even that many. None of these bikes have that many miles. People just buy bikes and then destroy them. You know? Look, someone got a custom paint job on this, and this is how it ended up getting stored. Come in here. These 2 bikes, this is the difference between something someone cared for. And this one's a little rough because it got used hard. Obviously, it's like the seat is taped up. It's not dented up. It's not rusted out. It was stored indoors. They liked it enough to put some Renthal bars on it. I got the old bars, and they're still nice condition too. My bike, I stored it indoors always. The chrome is pretty minty. You know, store your bikes indoors, guys. And take care of your tanks. Like, my tank is really nice in here. Dude, once your moped tank is done, it's connected to it. It's just, I don't even want your bike. I'll pay you $20 for that bike because I'll just sell all like the other shit on it. But I wouldn't even buy your bike if the tank's rusty. That's really how it is. I'll take it for free, but I'll sell that to someone else for $50. That's what a, you know, to me, that's what a rusted tank Pook Maxi's worth. Because I've done yoga with a bike and a bunch of acid and got the rust out, and boy, is that not worth it. Honestly, not that bad. Could have been a lot worse in there. Tank is pretty clean on this little bike. I just got this open. I have never seen that. What? I'm at a loss. In 5 years, is that 8 years? Is that what fuel turns into? What? Alright, well, this is actually scrubbed pretty well, and I think I need a new carburetor because it's like actually pitting into the metal. Alright, here's where we are on this project. To date, spent a little over $400. I've put it all back together. That's including the Presley bike. Well, not all back together. I put a lot of it back together. So you can see, you got a new fuel line here, but other than that, I have not drained the carb even. The kick pedal is super bent, so I have to like just kind of stick it near the end to kick it right now, I think. Otherwise, it gets caught down here. Anyway, what does that say, reserve? Yeah, okay, we'll just do on. Let's see what we get. No brakes.